not on vinyl. You don't have the CD? Why would I buy a CD? What's wrong with CDs? Are we recording? Yeah. Okay. Do you have any Advil or anything?
We hang together on rooftops forever. We hang together. We hang together. It's Rooftop ICKS.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Rooftop ICKS. I'm Ben.
I'm Bryn. And today we're reviewing Earl Sweatshirt, Doris, out on Odd Future Records. He's a part of the collective Odd Future, who sort of came to notoriety in 2008, 2009 with Tyler's Bastard, and their group has been...
And this guy's young, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
like 13 or something.
He's 9.
He's 9 years old.
Yeah, he's a 9-year-old rapper. Their crew is a lot of young kids. They're hotly debated as whether being good or amazing or terrible. But Earl Sweatshirt really blew a lot of people away with his first record, Earl.
And this one's called Doris.
It's called Doris.
What is the connection between Earl and Doris?
I believe Doris is his mom's name. Don't quote me on that. The first record is very just abrasive. It's, you know, lo-fi produced. It's got really hard-hitting beats, and it's all about the most offensive shit you would ever imagine. It's all like very murder and rape.
This record was not like that at all.
No. And so lots of people were anticipating this record, and I was too. And I'd like to know what you think about it.
It's definitely like sort of an art hip-hop record. It's not just a straight-up hip-hop record. And like when I heard the first couple of tracks, I was like, oh, this is different. This is not what I expected at all. But then the rest of the record doesn't really progress. It seems like it sort of stays in the same vein. Like it's like kind of the same track over and over.
Totally.
So that part I was sort of disappointed in, that like it piqued my interest right at the beginning, but then it just stays there.
Yeah. And for me, what I want from hip-hop is really clever lyrics, cool, chill beats, or really hard-hitting beat, you know, something interesting in the production, not just boom bap 808s. And
I like hip-hop when it's weird, and this was that, but it wasn't quite weird enough.
Yeah.
It seemed like a good idea.
I think the biggest problem with this record is its sameness.
Yeah.
Like almost every track is kind of that laid-back, jazzy, slightly funky sort of production. And
Just go listen to Tribe Called Quest. That's what I would do.
That's so old.
I know, but why remake it? You know what I mean? Why remake Tribe Called Quest? Just go listen to Tribe Called Quest.
Go listen to Tribe Called Quest. I like all the singles, which are Hive and Chum, and I thought it was going to be all kind of different like that, but it's all either like in the middle of those tracks, and I think it really loses some force because of how samey it is. But I still think he's an incredible writer. His wordplay and his flow is amazing. I think he's one of the best rappers. I just wish he had.
It's definitely an album that's easy to listen to. Like,
oh yeah,
like if you worked in a restaurant or a coffee shop or something, it's something you could just put on.
Yeah, and if you really want to pull it apart, I think it's got a lot of good lyrics, but nothing. It's an easy to listen to record, but nothing grabs you musically.
It would have made a better EP.
That's a great point. I think it has a lot of, not filler in terms of lyrics, but production-wise, there's not enough ideas.
Yeah.
For a whole record.
If this was 4 tracks, I would leave this going, wow, when's the album gonna be like? This is gonna be amazing.
Absolutely. I think if it was Chum, Hive, Whoa, and I don't know, maybe Burgundy, it would be like, oh my God, Earl is back, and I'm blown away. But I think it was just a little samey. So I'll give it like a hard 6, light 7, because I think he's a great rapper, and I think he really knows what he's doing, and I just need to see him progress a little more in terms of production and musical concepts.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 5. A 6 if I was working in a coffee shop and I needed something.
Wow.
Still in the business of smacking up little rappers on rackets.
Oh my God.
With hated for bank, flipping his brain out.
I love hanging out with Lucas Jr.
Cases in it with hazing fillets, sentences. Advanced after smashing the main cameras up, tan khakis and
This segment, we take this opportunity to talk about records from our past, records that maybe have some importance.
My pick is Hella, The Devil Isn't Red. This is their second album. They're a Sacramento math rock band.
How old were you when you were into this?
I think 18 or 19.
And so when you found this when you were 18 or 19, what was it that clicked for you about this?
I think I was just really impressed by it. It sounds like nothing else. The guitar is amazing. The drumming is like, they're both such incredible players. It's not melodic. It's catchy, but in a really weird way, in a way that you have to really think about it. And I never really heard music that was so complex and so impressive in terms of just being abrasive and rock music.
And were you a musician at this age?
Yeah, I started playing.
So did this influence you in any way as far as playing?
Yeah, actually, you know, I started a math rock band in college, and we toured for a while, me and John Appleton, and I definitely like learned how to play. I got better at guitar by trying to mimic Spencer Syme, who's the guitarist, and you know, learning double tapping, and we were tunings, and yeah, so it was really influential. And this was a lot of, you know, driving around, you know, going to bars and, you know, just getting rowdy kind of music.
Yeah, this is something that would have been in your car on constant rotation. Yeah.
This record and their first record, this is their second record, I think it came out in 2003 or 4. Yeah, 2002, 3 or 4.
Well, why don't you take us through some of the record and hit on some highlights?
Okay. I think it's on the other side. We can cut around this, I'm just assuming. I think it's really fun, and later in their career they started making really pretty songs that were complicated, and there's a whole genre of math rock that I got really into because of this band, and so it makes me think of the old times.
Me too.
No.
So my pick is 80s artist Howard Jones.
Looks great.
This is something that I found whenever I was learning to be a musician.
Yeah.
I was playing keyboard and recording synthesizer parts and playing with sequencers and doing stuff like that. And so I liked that he, was this one-man band. I bought this on cassette.
Okay.
I had it on cassette, and it was just something that I just listened to over and over and over and over. And I started to really find the joy in realizing, oh, he's playing the synthesizer and that's what he's doing, and that's the drum sequencing and all that stuff. Particularly like, I think this song. Nope, this one. I want to say this was in 16 Candles.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% on that.
I feel like it's on the edge of being like as good as Duran Duran.
Sure.
But not quite there. It's poppy and it's easy.
Yeah, it is poppy, but yet sort of artful compared to, the 80s stuff. Yeah. And this album has like 4 or 5 singles on it.
I like this.
It's a great album. The whole album is amazing.
I don't know if it's a great album.
It is a great album.
I know this is nostalgic.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. This is amazing.
Fairly normal 80s.
Do you know how many car trips I sat in the backseat with a Walkman listening to this?
Jamming out and punching it.
Yeah. My mom and dad be arguing in the background, or in the foreground, I guess. I'm in the background. Is the back seat the background?
I guess.
Not in my world, it's not. It is the main stage.
This is the main stage.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there with my headphones on, listening to this endlessly.
This is viewer emails, where we read your comments, your emails, comments, or emails.
Yes.
You ask us questions, we answer them on the show.
People often want advice, and I feel like we are the right people for this job.
I agree. The first person who's asking the right people is R. Crummy. I think it's time to break up.
The famous cartoonist is asking.
I think it's time to break up with my girlfriend, which R. Crumb would ask. But she hasn't really done anything wrong. Also, her birthday is coming up in a week. Do I have to wait until after her birthday?
It's hard because I feel like it's nice. You don't want to ruin someone's birthday.
I think the whole idea of not breaking up with people around holidays or special events is stupid, because if it's anywhere past June, you're gonna find a bunch of holidays that you're like, oh, Thanksgiving is coming.
Well, I don't think it's wrong to break up with somebody close to Thanksgiving, but a birthday though, they probably have things planned.
New Year's,
right?
Yeah.
Like you can break up with somebody near Thanksgiving. There's nothing wrong with that. But on the other hand, you know, sometimes you're just not feeling it, and ending it as soon as you can might be the proper course of action.
Agreed. I think even if it's a week, like, you should have done this now. You should, if you're thinking about breaking up someone, just break up with them. Been together.
Because if you do have like a nice, intimate, romantic, coupley birthday,
it's gonna make it
you're
harder.
gonna feel phony the whole time because you're knowing, like, I'm only doing this so that I don't have to break up.
And it's gonna make it harder for her later, because it's gonna be like, oh, but you were so nice and you've been faking this the whole time.
Right.
So break up with her as soon as
away.
As soon as possible.
Right away.
Fuck any sort of special occasions.
Thanks for your question. That will conclude this episode of Rooftop ICKS.
Thank you very much for watching.
Until next time,
top of the
world
world
to you.